Hi everyone, and welcome to another video by I.Pass the CPA Exam. The website, ipassthecpaexam.com, was created by Stephanie Ng, CPA. Stephanie is a published CPA Exam Guide author, webinar leader, CPA expert, CFO, and is highly respected in the accounting space. ipassthecpaexam.com is the #1 community for CPAs and CPA candidates. Today, we're pleased to bring you an unboxing of study materials from Surgent. Stay tuned to the end of this video for a special offer brought to you by I.Pass and Surgent. Before we dive into the online course, let's first open this box and look at the study materials Surgent sent us. Surgent's exam prep courses deliver among the highest pass rates in the industry. Simultaneously, their AI-powered software, A.S.A.P technology, generates a fully customized study plan to bridge your knowledge gaps and get you exam ready up to 4 times faster than their competitors. First up, I see spiral-bound flashcards. This one is for Reg. Opening it up, there are questions with answers printed on the back of each page. I personally find the spiral binding very convenient. There are 3 more sets, FAR, ODD, and BEC. 1 set of spiral-bound flashcards for each of the 4 exam sections. Just beneath that, there's the first Surgent textbook for business environments and concepts. As far as review textbooks go, I'm really impressed with how robust these books are and how much content they must contain by their sheer size and this box's weight. Let's take a look at the table of contents and see how the information is organized. Sections for this book include corporate governance, economic concepts and analysis, financial management, information technology, and operations management. Each section has MCQs, written communication, simulations, and an answer key for each. The next textbook we've got is ODD. Let's take a look inside. The sections covered in this auditing and attestation textbook are ethics, professional responsibilities and general principles, assessing risk and developing a planned response, performing further procedures and obtaining evidence, forming conclusions and reporting, and PCAOB standards. Again, this book contains MCQs, simulations, and answers for both. This ODD textbook and Reg and FAR obviously won't have material for written communications because those question types are only found on the exam's BEC portion. Continuing to the Reg textbook, we have ethics, professional responsibilities, and federal tax procedures, business law, federal taxation of property transactions, federal taxation of individuals, and federal taxation of entities. Lastly, we have the Surgent textbook for FAR. This textbook sections include conceptual framework, standard setting, and financial reporting, select financial statement accounts, select transactions, and state and local governments. Quick recap. This Surgent review material unboxing has included 4 sets of spiral-bound flashcards with corresponding textbooks for BEC, ODD, Reg, and FAR. Surgent's flashcards are updated quarterly and printed on demand, so these should have the absolute most up-to-date information. I also know that Surgent offers a free flashcard app for iOS for studying on the go. Speaking of online studying, today I can give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of Surgent's online review course. Surgent's intelligent software has access to over 7,700 MCQs, more than 400 task-based simulations, and 350-plus bite-sized videos led by industry experts. Their real-time algorithms assess your strengths and weaknesses and help save you study time by honing in on the areas you need most improvement. To get started, I need to select the exam I'd like to study for. Today, I'm going to go with FAR. The Surgent method adapts to your learning process and serves up the content most relevant for you to study from in the form of Surge cards. Now I can choose my study style. I'm going to go ahead and use Surgent's algorithm to help me identify my stronger and weaker areas to create a personalized study plan. This is what we and they recommend, and this is how they're going to help you study most efficiently. However, if you don't want to do that, you have the option to take a linear course that guides you through all the study materials section by section. Now I get to choose my difficulty level, which ranges from very easy to very hard. I'm going to stick in the middle and go with moderate. Enter your exam date so Surgent can prepare your study schedule and select what days of the week you plan to study on. And don't worry if your exam date is a bit in the future. Surgent will automatically update your online course content whenever the exam changes. In this overview, I can see that it's broken down into 4 steps: assessment, study, study and simulation, and practice. Let's get started. The assessment quiz will determine my strengths and weaknesses. There are 350 questions in total, which will determine my ReadySCORE. With this assessment, Surgent software will identify what I already know and what areas I need to work on. To move through quickly so I can give you an overview of how it works, I'm not going to concern myself with getting the answers right and just go ahead and select the first answer for each MCQ. During the assessment quiz, when I select the right answer, I'm immediately told that my answer was correct and am provided with a detailed explanation of why that is. However, if the answer I choose is incorrect, the correct answer will be indicated, and again, I am served with the explanation as to why that was the correct answer instead of what I selected. In addition to each question getting scored immediately as you progress, I also see the question's first-time score with a percentage that indicates the number of people who get that answer right on the first try. This will help me gauge the relative difficulty of a question and where I stand compared to my peers who are also studying for the exam. Every question also has relevant video links to expert-led lectures that cover relevant material to help reinforce my thorough understanding of the topic at hand. I can click on the link and watch the video without losing my place in the assessment quiz. The quiz isn't timed, so I can take as much time as I need in between questions. Below the video links are relevant terms. Inside each term, I can also choose to jump to the entire glossary by clicking the link here. After I'm finished reviewing, I close the pop-up box and move on to the next question. Notice the top toolbar above the question area. Here are helpful tools to complete the assessment quiz, including a help area, calculator, math worksheet, and question notes I can fill in if I've got something I want to jot down. On this same toolbar is the ability to skip a question or mark it as guessed, which is a really cool feature in my opinion. If I inadvertently get a question correct that I was unsure about or didn't really know the answer to just because I had a lucky guess, I'll still be able to mark it as guessed so Surgent can help me strengthen my understanding of that subject throughout the course. At the end of each session, I'll receive my quiz results, including the total testing time, the percentage of questions answered correctly, and my average time per question. As you can see, just randomly guessing my whole way through, I flew through it. But when you take the quiz, this will be beneficial data for you to have. I think the way the data is organized here is really fantastic. First, I see a list of my problem areas, that is, questions I got incorrect, guessed on, or skipped. I can hit a button and review all of these problem questions in sequence, or I can click on an individual question, maybe something that stuck out in my mind, and jump right to that without having to flip through the entire quiz. Below is a list of all the questions answered correctly. Again, I can hover over a question to jump to its individual page. On this same screen, over to the right, I'm given a list of recommended study actions, including video links, relevant terms, and references that the assessment quiz's algorithm has determined would be most helpful for me based on the results of my quiz. When I return to the dashboard's main screen, I will see how many questions I have left before I can unlock the next phases of the exam review. Here you can see I only have 35 questions left before I'll have my results because I've gone ahead and done most of the 350 questions so that we can move on to see what's next. After I've completed the 350 questions of my assessment quiz, I'll be given a detailed diagnostic report that will display my ReadySCORE. There's also a progress bar that will tell me how many more hours I have to complete the course and how many hours I'll save by studying with Surgent over their competitors. This diagnostic report also breaks down my best topics and categories and areas of strength, and my worst topics and categories and areas of weakness. From here, I'll jump to the video report, which tracks how much time I've spent watching each lecture. Here I can open a topic to drill down even further and hone in on areas I want to study. I'm now in the study phase, which consists primarily of MCQs. Surgent software will suggest multiple choice questions and topics that are both important for the exam and ones where I require the most improvement. Simulations are available in this phase, but I'm encouraged to focus on the MCQs at this point. The software will let me know when it's time to start practicing simulations. My daily Surge displays personalized study recommendations for each session, such as question practice sessions and specific videos. Surgent's A.S.A.P technology creates these Surge recommendations based on my prior performance in topics and each topic's relative importance within the course outline. For these study sessions, I can select 10, 30, or 50 MCQs depending on my schedule and how much time I have allotted for studying in this session. Again, I really love the flexibility here that this course offers to fit into my schedule and study preferences. For the selective study sessions, I can choose what categories I want to work on. This can be very granular, and I can drill down what subjects I want to see and which ones I don't at this particular time. After determining what topics I want displayed, I can choose the session type and duration and where my questions will be selected from, i.e. adaptive, all, new, last seen, trouble questions, and missed last time. Here is where I can also enable test bank mode. So we really hope you enjoyed this unboxing of Surgent study materials and the behind-the-scenes look at what their online course is like. I.P.A. the CPA exam offers a limited time discount on Surgent CPA prep materials and course, so check out the description below to find out how you can take advantage of that offer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful content like this.